Guys, this is day two. Day two of no water in the East London area, yeah? Nothing's been coming out. 2 days. My whole family were living on water bowls, bro. Going to the shops every rascal day. It's so long, man. I know you lot that don't bath aren't affected too much, but as someone that showers 2 times a day, long. I had to go to the gym today just to queue up and see flipping to try and have a shower, man. And there was a queue. It's actually so long. Good luck to anybody that's suffering right now, yeah, because it's a myth.
Right, so you might have seen that more than 2/3 of England is now in drought with conditions set to worsen. Now you might be thinking, how on earth can England be in this situation? This is England. It doesn't do anything but rain. How on earth are we experiencing a drought? Well, you can thank privatisation. Privatisation in the context we are talking about is when the government sells off a state-owned industry to a private company. This is what has been happening in the UK since 1979 under successive Tory and Labour governments. Now, the justification for privatisation is that a private company is better suited than the state to run the service because they have more time to spend on it, and in exchange, customers, i.e. us, will get more efficient services and also for a cheaper price. Safe to say, that has not happened. So take water, for example, which was sold off by the Tories in 1989. These companies have taken a precious resource like water, which is essential to the survival of humanity, and used it as a way of making incredibly wealthy people even more wealthier, evident by the fact that water companies have paid out £78 billion in dividends to their shareholders, whilst at the same time accruing debts valued at around £60 billion. And what have we received in return? Piss poor services, and we're paying a shit ton of money for it. Do you know how many water reservoirs have been built by the water companies in the last 30 years? Absolutely none. We're in a drought. 55.10 trillion litres of rain fell on England alone in 2026. Maybe build some reservoirs and collect it. But despite all of that, Andy Burnham and the Labour government are absolutely nowhere to be seen on this issue. They claim they want to improve people's lives, and yet they refuse to commit to the full renationalisation of water in England and Wales without compensation. It's ridiculous. Privatisation is a scam. It has ruined millions of lives. It needs to be reversed.
Bro, you know what's pissing me off? There's actually no water in this place. I don't know what's going on, yeah? These Thames Water people, they're just sending like 24 litres worth of like bottled water from Elm Spring or something. Oh my god, look, this is not working. It's not working. The shower, it's not working. It's not working. Like the sink, the dishwasher, the laundry, none of that works. I just want to drink water. I want to wash my dishes. I want to bathe. I want to like clean myself. I want to take a shower. What's going on? I know like the pipe's broken and stuff, but oh my god, like I feel like drinking water and like taking a shower is like basic human rights and stuff. Brother, I live in the UK, big 2026. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like Thames Water pay so much money to pay our water bills, and this is the kind of shit service that they got. Like, I understand that pipes being broken and stuff, but seriously, do better. Also, have you seen what's going on outside? It's hella dry. Bruv, climate change is real. Just thinking about this, right? It's just gonna get warmer and warmer and warmer in the summer and gets colder and colder and colder in the winter due to the Antarctic, like, ice flow and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Like, it gets to a point where it's just really pissing me off right now. And it's like, God, like, you know, people need to stop using these, like, flipping like data center and stuff, like them AI data centers. It's like you tap one single like command and stuff. Do you know how much water it wastes? It's kind of crazy.
There is a fifth heat wave hitting the UK next week. A fifth heat wave. Mind you, I believe 70% of the UK are currently in drought. 70%. This is a satellite image of what Southeast Anglia, the south of England, currently looks like. It is barren. It is dry. It is a desert. I have never seen grass so burned. I was home the entire of last summer and this summer. I have never seen anything like it. I have never seen grass so dry. I genuinely don't understand how the UK government hasn't declared a national emergency. I don't understand why climate change is not dominating the news cycle right now. Farmers up and down the UK had to finish their harvest a month early. Do you know what that means for you and I? There's going to be less groceries. There's going to be more expensive groceries. There's going to be a food shortage. There's going to be starvation. That is going to impact you. Whether or not you think that climate change is a hoax or we're all overreacting, or you only care about the aesthetics of the grass or the ground or whatever, you aren't going to be able to eat because we won't be able to make food. Not only will this affect food, it will affect our climate, it will affect the grass, it also means that we are seeing wildfires much more frequently and much more devastating. I literally made a video a couple days ago about a wildfire that spread across Suffolk that destroyed an entire natural wildlife area. There are multiple different fires happening across London as well. And the Labour government aren't going to do anything about this because majority of our water is privatised. At least in England and Wales, that is. There were 50 consecutive days of rainfall in the UK this year. And in the same year, we are in a drought. That is fucking climate change. That is Thames Water being a private company caring more about shareholders than it is about actually building reservoirs. Like, Andy Burnham needs to declare war against these companies. He needs to declare a climate emergency. It is that serious.
With the events of this summer, I feel it pertinent to reiterate something I covered earlier this year. It was a report made by the Department of National Security in the United Kingdom, and it detailed how ecosystem collapse and climate change can massively negatively affect the security of the UK. They predicted with ecosystems collapsing, biodiversity diminishing, and temperatures getting higher, we would be more at risk of drought and less food secure. And just like they've said, droughts are sweeping across the UK, and this summer has been the driest on record since 1911, and farmers are warning of food shortages. But something I didn't mention last time is that the government tried to hide this. It was only allowed out to the public after a Freedom of Information request. That wasn't the Conservative government, that was this current Labour government that did that. And even though I do agree that Labour are way better than the Conservatives, they are still nowhere near as good as they need to be on the climate and biodiversity crisis. The new PM, Mr. Andy Burnham, has decided that, it might be a good idea to allow Rosebank and new oil drilling in the North Sea. Despite experts already telling him this will not alleviate any problem. It will not make us more fuel secure, and it will not give us a ton of money. It really just shows how much they still bend the knee to the fossil fuel industry. It is a titan and has been for a long time, but we need to take that titan down. We need to start that just transition away from fossil fuels. We have the technology, we have the means, we have the money to do so. Again, experts in the field show that if we transition away from fossil fuels, it will cost a lot, but it'll cost significantly less than one fuel shortage like what happened with the Suez Canal. The trillions of pounds lost thanks to that could have already transitioned us to a greener future. And when it actually comes to preventing further wildfires and droughts in the future, we already have really good evidence to showcase that rewilding and nature restoration can prevent these and help food security into the future. Shifting away from the monocultural landscape we have now in our countryside to something that works with nature and farming very balanced will help. It will increase and make more resilient the ecosystems and the species therein. There'll be more pollinators available for our crops. There'll be more worms moving into farmland. There'll be lots of healthy water, lots of drought prevention. It's just the right answer. But it seems this current government, like the last one and any others that get into the future that aren't the Green Party, don't want to make the necessary changes. So we need to demand from this current government, if they want to stay in power in the future, we need to see a shift. We know what to do, we know how to do it, so let's just bloody do it. Put the money into what we need to do. No new oil fields, no new coal mines, no new any of that crap. Let's do it right.
Britain's water crisis is getting serious. Imagine turning on your tap one morning and nothing comes out. For most of us, that sounds almost impossible. But Britain is facing a growing problem with something we normally take completely for granted, water. And the warning signs are getting harder to ignore. Britain has one of the highest rates of water leakage in Europe. Every single day, millions of litres of treated water disappear through ageing pipes beneath our streets. At the same time, our population is growing, our climate is changing, and hotter, drier summers are putting even more pressure on supplies. And here's the really strange part. Britain is famous for rain. So how can a country known for being wet possibly run short of water? Because having lots of rain doesn't necessarily mean having enough water where and when we need it. Reservoir levels, rainfall patterns, droughts, population growth, and the condition of our infrastructure all matter. And when demand rises while supplies come under pressure, the consequences can spread quickly. Hosepipe bans, restrictions, pressure on households, and potentially higher bills as the system requires more investment. But there is another question people are asking. Why are households being told to save water when so much is still being lost through leaks? That is one of the biggest frustrations surrounding Britain's water system. Because this isn't just about taking shorter showers, it's about infrastructure that has been developing for decades, and fixing it won't happen overnight. Britain needs billions of pounds of investment to upgrade its water network and prepare for the future, because water isn't optional. We can live without streaming services, we can live without takeaway coffee, but we can't live without turning on the tap, and that's why Britain's water problem deserves far more attention, because the next crisis might not be something you see coming. It could be the thing you expect to be there every morning, your water, and once it's gone, you can't simply switch it back on.